What is up, my dude and dudettes, and welcome back to TellerTube. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/EntitledParents. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date with my latest videos. With that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Entitled mother demands front row seats that weren't reserved for her. So this happened at VidCon Australia this year. My friend and I had gotten front row seats for the send-off show, and we were there about 45 minutes early. 5 minutes before the show enters entitled mother. She was dragging her kid to the front row, obnoxiously cleared her throat, and opened her full of BS mouth. Entitled mother.
Excuse me, we were sitting there.
I glanced at my friend. I'm sorry, what do you mean by that?
You know what I said. My baby and I were sitting there before and you took our seats.
The kid looked embarrassed. He looked like he was 11 or so. Ma'am, we've been here since the last panel.
Yeah, but we took those spots for the panel this morning.
My friend and I just looked at her. Was she for real? Friend goes, sorry ma'am, but these spots weren't reserved when we got here. The kid started to urge entitled mother to stop.
Really? Well, I left a tissue on the seat. You should know what that means since you...
Entitled mother looks up and down.
are Asian.
I am Asian, but this took me by surprise. I didn't know putting a tissue on a seat was an Asian thing. Excuse me?
Yeah, you know. Anyway, these are our seats and you should really move before the security guards take notice.
We were really pissed now. Sorry lady, but you should know that these seats are for everyone. If you think a flimsy piece of tissue will win you these seats, you are very wrong. A few people around us have started to notice what was happening.
Didn't school teach you to give up your spots to those in need?
I'm sorry, but why are you in need?
I'm in need of those spots, now shove off.
At this point, the kid was in tears of what was happening.
Look, you just made my poor baby cry.
Entitled mother tried to hug her kid, but he flinched back and started to run off out of the auditorium. Entitled mother took off yelling at her kid. Still in shock, my friend and I look at each other. At this point, the lights started to dim out and we watched as the security guard shut down the doors after entitled mother and her kid ran out. I'm happy to report that entitled mother wasn't able to see the show at all in the end. The poor kid deserved better though, poor thing.
Excuse me, those are my seats.
Entitled parent thinks fabric store is also a daycare. I used to be a manager at a fabric store, so I had a lot of entitled mothers come through my doors. But my most fond memory was of this one lady. It was a busy day, so I was helping cut fabric when her number was called. She sets her, I'm assuming, 2-year-old on the cut counter and her fabric right next to him. Ma'am, could you please take your child off the counter? It's dangerous, and also I need the space to cut your fabric.
But my arms are full.
If your arms are full, there's shopping carts at the entrance. They even have a child spot so he can sit in the cart. Win-win. She rolled her eyes and stormed off, leaving the kid and her fabric. The front really wasn't far from the counter, so I got worried when a few minutes passed by and she doesn't come back. I call over our headset to my coworkers to see if anyone sees her. Nobody had. Worried the entitled parent had run out of the store and left her kid. This wasn't the first time this has happened in this store. I pick him up and started to search the aisles. I found her shopping down another aisle. Ma'am, I think you forgot something.
Where's my fabric?
What?
My fabric. I told you I needed 2 yards.
You left your baby on the counter, plus you have to be present when I cut the fabric.
I just left him with you. You were watching him while I finished shopping.
Me absolutely baffled at this point. Ma'am, that's not how it works. You really need to keep an eye on your kid.
You are paid to be here, right? So I'm paying your bills. Just watch him so I can get my shopping done. He's not that hard to watch.
If he's not that hard to watch, I'll just put him in your cart. How about that? At this point, I was trying to hand off the baby to her, but she was pulling her cart away from me.
I'll take him back when you cut my fabric.
Ma'am, really? You have to watch your kid. This isn't a daycare.
Well, I'm not finished shopping. I told you I would take him back when my fabric is cut and ready.
At this point, I was fed up and was in an awkward situation, so I just snapped. I turned and walked back to the cut counter where one of my coworkers cut the 2 yards of fabric. But instead of walking it back to her, I marched to the front of the store where we have a PA system where I loudly used it for the entire store.
Attention, fabric store shoppers, would the woman who left her baby at the cut counter please pick him up? Once again, would the woman who left her baby at the cut counter please pick him up? Thank you.
You could hear a pin drop through the whole store except the furious wheels of one shopping cart. Entitled Parents. I have never seen someone look as red out of anger as she did. She grabbed her kid and stormed through the checkout where I smiled and told her to have a nice day.
Nope, I'm not taking my child until my fabric is ready. Looks like he's staying here with you.
What a good mother, eh? Entitled Parents try to control my bathroom breaks. So this is another church thing. I always went to a youth thing. We stayed at a hotel, went skiing, and had a lot of sermons. We also had adult chaperones to go with us. I was on my last year there and I was 18. I had to go to the bathroom, so I very quietly got up, walked to the back, and left for the bathroom. The bathroom was 3 feet from the sermon room, so I wasn't going very far. When I left the bathroom, an entitled parent was waiting for me.
Where did you go?
The bathroom?
Why didn't you tell anyone?
I didn't think I needed to.
Well, you do. You always need to tell us where you're going.
I'm 18, I'm an adult.
Not here, you're not. We're in charge of you. You have to obey us.
I can literally go to the gas station across the street and buy cigarettes and a lighter. And you can't do a single thing to stop me. Turns and walks back into the sermon. 15 minutes later, I went to the bathroom again. I saw her and gave her a small smile as I walked by. She glared at me. The reason why I was so snarky? Because these were the same people who couldn't remember my name and tried to control my reading. Plus, my church was stuck-up snobs who thought they were better than the other church groups.
You're an adult? Nope. You can't go to the washroom without my permission.
Entitled mother calls the security guard on me because I have heroin marks on my arm. Really, just IV drips from today. Here's the cast. Entitled mom, Walmart officer. Our Walmart has a security guard next to the drugs for obvious reasons. And me, the OP. So a little backstory. So I woke up Sunday night at around 11:30 p.m. because I couldn't breathe and had really bad sleep paralysis. So I call my brother, who gets my papa and takes me to the emergency room, so I get 2 IVs. One an emergency saline drip and the other is a blood test. And I got released at around 4:45 to 5 p.m. on Monday. I leave with my papa and I ask if he can stop by Walmart so I can pick up some toothpaste and a gift for my brother. He's been interested in this new game, The Outer Worlds, and his birthday is in 2 days. He agrees and pulls around front to let me out. So I walk in and make my way to the hygiene department with my basket and pick up toothpaste, floss, a new toothbrush head, and the all-important tampons. Then I start to make my way to the gaming department and I hear from behind me in a sort of polite but upset voice.
Excuse me, young lady.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I was just wondering why you would do this.
She grabs my wrist and points to the swollen IV insertions. Note, I was wearing a tank top.
To yourself.
Go to a hospital and get an IV?
No, honey. They don't do IVs in both arms. I should know, as I am the head nurse at St. Louis Catholic Hospital.
So you work 187 miles away from the town you live in?
Well, I don't work here. I just heard they had amazing tea here.
Alright, can you let go of me now so I can go a separate direction?
No, I will not. Because you're the one that is doing drugs and I want to make sure you're safe.
Ma'am, with all due respect, I have no intentions to do drugs. Especially not heroin, as I have witnessed several family members go through withdrawals, and they are now deceased.
Well, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree now, does it, you little booger?
She then picks up my box of tampons and throws them on the ground.
Those toys of yours show you're a little girl.
Ma'am, let me go or I'm gonna call the police or yell for an employee.
Help! Help! This girl is threatening me and said she injects heroin.
I just turned speechless and attempted to pick up my tampons and leave.
You're not going anywhere.
Walmart officer, what's the problem, ladies? This woman grabbed me and yelled at me for my IV inserts and then threw my tampons on the floor while using verbal abuse.
No, I wasn't, you lying bict framer. I meant framer. She's trying to frame me for something I didn't do.
Entitled Mother, I'm going to have to ask you to let her go before I restrain you. Entitled Mother lets me go and grumbles about how my generation is a mess. Thank you, sir. Can I pay you anything? No, ma'am, you cannot, because that's bribery. Oh, okay, I'll leave now.
But she's doing heroin.
For the last time, these are IVs from me getting a blood test and an urgent saline drip.
Then tell me, what were you sick with?
I had an allergic reaction to the medicine I got from my tonsillectomy, and they did a blood test to find out why I had sleep paralysis.
Well, fine, you win.
I just walk off and get Outer Worlds. My brother loves it and strongly recommends it to people. I got to play it, and it's a good game. Karen, for Pete's sake, they're just marks from my IVs. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button as it would really help me out. Subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with my latest videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.